We are one. We are. We are one. We are. We are. And we are love. For we are one. We are, and we are light. We are. You love me so much more than I could ever know. Your love is deeper than this world will ever show. And all of life's beauty shines around this moment now. The sky and the cliffs, they seem to change my life somehow. And I will never be the same. Will never be the same. Whoa, I will never be the same. Never be the same. Ever again. Well, here I am waiting, Lord, my life is just for you. Please unfold all the plans that you would have me do. And if all the world's just a breath and nothing's here to stay, then all of the love we feel will save us anyway. Will never be the same. Will never be the same. Whoa, I will never be the same. Will never be the same ever again. Da 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 da. never be the same.
Hey everyone, welcome to SDAQ&A. I'm Peter Dixon. This is my beautiful daughter Renee. How are you, Renee?
Good.
And this is my very special guest, David Schramm. How are you, David?
I'm doing fantastic, Peter.
It's so good to have you on the program. And Renee is on holidays. Oh, and this is my wife. Come and poke your head in, bub.
Okay.
We've got a whole family here. Almost got missing one girl.
Hello.
So
We'll leave you to it.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye, Dad.
Well, nice to have you on the program, David, and everyone watching, welcome. And I've been looking forward to today. But I thought I'd just introduce you to my wife, and Renee, and there's another little one. She's inside the house, Ruby. So, yeah, so just thought I'd bring them onto the show and say hi to everybody. Now, if you've been enjoying the music at the start there, you can scan the QR code if you'd like, and it'll take you to Spotify, and you're more than welcome to go and listen for free over there, or you can find it on iTunes as well. And for $1, I think you can buy that song and a number of others, and that helps a lot. Just quickly bring up some messages here. We've got George Tishi watching from Reno, Nevada. So you guys far away from each other? Would Reno
That's probably like 4 or 5, probably 5 hours away.
Right.
I think that Reno's that might be close to where Weimar is, and that's maybe 5 hours. So
okay.
Great to see George.
Yes, loved our interview the other week, George. And Stephen Jackson, hello family. Hey Stephen, good to have you here all the way from Alabama, I think. Is that right? Yes. Sweet home. And we've got Glow 308, greetings from Washington State. Loved your music and intro video. Thank you very much. Well, I'm here today with fellow musician David Schramm. He is musician, luthier, and Adventist ponderer.
That's correct.
And I tell you what, I've been looking into some of your music and your website there, the shramguitars.com. You make some very beautiful guitars.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd encourage people to come and check out your site there. And we also worked out before we went live that you and I are from the same generation. I've heard the generation that, because we're not quite baby boomers, and we're not really the Gen X, the next ones that come after. And I've heard people call us the baby busters. So 1961 to 1968, we're in that kind of group there. And because I always think, look, if you're a baby boomer, you are able to go to Woodstock and enjoy the concert, whereas you and I would have been, 5 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's a good generation because I think we got to enjoy the music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and still young enough in the 90s to kind of enjoy a lot of new music. So
that was a great time. Great times.
Yeah. Now, I've called today's program "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" And both of us remembered the song by The Clash, isn't it? That
that's correct.
Should I stay or should I go? I'd love to play it. So, but due to copyright, I can't. But I go and listen to it, everyone. Go and just type in The Clash. Should I stay or should I go? And George has just asked, where do you live again? Fresno.
I live. Yeah, well, I live in Clovis, which is it's it's right on the border. It's just east of Fresno. They're basically makes one giant city. So if you know where Fresno is, Clovis is just east of it near the mountains.
Clovis is coming to my mind. Is there a movie that involves the town Clovis? It's coming to my mind. It'll come to me. I remember seeing it
There's
in
a Clovis,
something.
New Mexico.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure it'll come to me. I remember seeing it recently featured in a movie. Anyway, so we come from that generation, and I wanted to make it clear to people that we're not saying that you're sitting here asking people to say, should you stay or should you go? It's a question you're asking yourself. And what I think, using your own brain and your own ability to think, your God-given right to make your choices in life, you're as an adult going, okay, I'm going to weigh up all these pros and cons and make a decision if I should remain an Adventist or not. And whichever form that takes, that's up to you. People aren't going to boss you around or tell you what to do. You're not coming on the show just saying, hey, tell me what to do. You're
Right.
on the show being very authentic and saying, look, I've got some questions and I might come to a decision down the track. I might not, but I'm interested in exploring, as I made a bit of a joke, I'll bring it up again, where we called you a musician, luthier, and Adventist ponderer. And, you and I are the same generation. I think I was an Adventist ponderer for my whole life. I know I started questioning quite early on, and but I didn't leave until I was 54, 55. So I was pondering as well. So I fully understand your heart, where you're going, and I think it's a great thing to ask questions. Ellen White herself said, agitate, agitate, agitate. And Jesus calls people to seek and ye shall find. And so, we just want to get to know you a little bit better today, and we want to support you in your journey. And I'm sure people making comments will refer to them from time to time. We're very keen to get people's thoughts on their own journey, because by sharing, we all kind of help each other a bit there.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about David Schramm. Tell us a bit of your history. You had some interesting things to say about your grandfather earlier. Share a little bit of your journey to where you are now, and then we'll start talking a bit more about the philosophy and theology of your journey.
Sure, absolutely. I guess since you mentioned my grandfather, now this kind of blows people's minds, because my grandfather was born in 1870.
Amazing.
And my dad was born in 27. So my grandpa was actually a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
He was 57 when my dad was born.
Incredible. Did your dad talk about that and the age difference? Only because as you see with my daughter there, I had her when I was 50, I think. And I'm always interested to know what the experience of the children is if they have an older dad.
Yeah. In fact, me and my dad were so close. I mean, it was not only my dad, but my best friend. Now, he passed away in 2018. Try not to get emotional about it. But I mean,
That's recent. That's recent.
We were so tight. I mean, amazing. God bless me so much to have a wonderful father like him.
That's
so,
fantastic.
So one thing about my dad being born, we're having a father that was that old. My dad thought he was adopted. My dad loved to tell this story. Because he had older siblings, and there was a large gap between him and the youngest of 1, 2, 3. I think there were 4 or 5 kids. There was a gap, and so he always told me the story of him asking his mom, "Mom, am I adopted?" And she was kind of shocked, but it was, that was just like the Depression era and stuff. And
he probably pondered it for ages before even asking her as well. So he was probably thinking, having all these kind of
yeah. I mean, the I might have it on my Facebook page or something. But there's pictures of my dad. You have all these adults, and then here's this little guy.
I mean, he'd literally have siblings that were old enough to be his parents.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. In fact, his sister was they lived in a farm in Iowa, and it was a German community. Um, so my grandparents came over here from Germany through Ellis Island and everything.
Mm.
Um, but his sister was his school teacher. They had a, in fact, there's a painting my dad did of the schoolhouse. It's kind of funny when he was young. But my aunt, well, his sister, was his elementary school teacher and everything. And my dad ended up becoming a school teacher, and he taught at Fresno State University. And one time when my aunt Henrietta came out to visit him, he told the class, I have a very special person here who was my teacher. And he tells the story that all the kids were looking around, and he says, I want to introduce you to my sister. So it was his sister who basically taught him all the way up through high school.
Wow, wow. So but he didn't express any, apart from those kind of strange moments and photographs, he didn't express that he felt too, what's the word for it? Uh, in like that it wasn't too much. He still had a connection with his dad, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Did he?
Sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. They I don't think his dad, I never met my grandfather. I don't think he spoke English very well. So my dad would speak German to him, and
Right.
of course to my grandma, who I met when I was probably 5 years old. But I only met her maybe once or twice in my life, because I grew up in California, and they were in the Iowa, Minnesota, which is the Midwest of the United States. They were
Right.
farmers back
Okay.
there.
Now, I'm just going to pause the conversation for a moment, because it turns out, even though it says we're going live to Facebook, we aren't. I've had a bunch of people just write to me and say we aren't going live to Facebook. So we're just going to pause for a moment while I see if I can fix that error there. So let me see. Sorry about that, David, because
No
we
problem.
do have a big audience over there waiting, and I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts. That is very interesting. Sorry, everyone. Those of you are watching, just ask David some questions, and I'll bring them up on the screen. We'll just try and find out what's happening here. It's always something happening. Just check the apps are all connected. Yes, they are. Boy. And everyone watching on YouTube can see us clearly. We definitely want to get this working. So, yeah, I've had problems with Facebook a lot lately. I'm just going to toggle it off and on, but keep going live to YouTube. Yeah, it's definitely, that is weird. It's going live behind the scenes. Let me see. I'm even getting audio from there as well. Sorry, David.
No problem. We'll get it straight.
We're all very laid back here on SDAQ&A. That is very weird because it says it's going live. So I'll toggle it off and on, and we'll just see what happens. And if we get booted, everyone, we'll come straight back. So particularly after that nice start. And one more button to press. In radio, they call this kind of silence like almost the death knell of the show, because it's like you can't have any silence, but at least people can see us. Now we're trying again. And yeah, it looks like we might have to... Okay, let's have a look. I'll just try now. No, it looks like we might have to reboot it. So what we're going to do, everybody, thanks those that are watching on YouTube, we'll call this part 1, and part 2 is about to start, and part 2 will go live. We'll have a quick recap of what we just chatted there, and
Sure.
but I apologize, everybody, but we will be rebooting the program immediately. Watch again on YouTube, and hopefully Facebook will be with us. So here we go. I'll end the program, and then David, I'll get you to click that link again in about 2 minutes' time.
You
So
got it.
everyone, the joys of going live. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.